Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday, and welcome to another episode of the Business Breakthrough with Barbara Show. I hope you guys had an amazing weekend. Um, I hope you relax and recharge and that you are ready for another week of business growth and development and expansion and all the beautiful things that come with entrepreneurship. Today's episode was requested by an amazing member from this community, Stormy, and you guys voted for it. So I grabbed her topic plus another one and I make you guys vote over the weekend. Every single one of you voted for this topic. And I'm super excited to talk about it because I think discovery calls are such a big part of accelerating your growth as a coach. The better that you get at them, the more that you convert, the more that you convert, the more clients that you get, and the more clients that you get, the more that your business grows. It's a cycle. So I talk about this all the time. I actually have a program called the Discovery Call Accelerator. I teach this in my Overlook to Fully Book group program. I teach this to every single one of my clients. I have mastered discovery calls on in my own business, and that's why I've been able to grow and scale so much. So let's go right in. Today we're going to talk about how to move through your first discovery call with a new client without blowing it. And I have a lot to say. So have a journal, pen, pay attention, write notes, really integrate the information that you are learning today, that you're learning today, because it's truly going to make a huge difference. Um, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to say before we began. For those of you who attended the Courage and Abundance workshop last week, it was awesome. I got so much feedback from everyone. So many of you loved it, got so many insights. Honestly, like 4 or 5 people told me they were watching it a second time right after I I finished hosting it. It was good. I've been saying for over a week that this was a free workshop that I was extremely excited about. It was brand new content. I had never done it before, but it just felt like the right thing um, to do and teach at that moment. So, those of you who attended it, I am so happy that you did. Those of you who didn't, it's okay. I may run it again at the end of Q2. You are going to have to wait a little bit, but yeah, we're going to run it again at the end of Q2. Um, and those of you who are in the group waiting to hear who the winner of our giveaway is, it's coming out today. So keep your eyes peeled. For those of you who are not in the group and do not know what I'm talking about, so in the Courage and Abundance workshop, I am giving away over $500 worth of things. I'm giving away a full-on one-on-one business coaching session with me. I'm giving away access to one of my most popular courses, the Start and Grow a Profitable group mini course, and 2 books that we are shipping out to the winner of the giveaway. So I'm super excited for that. We had to wait a couple extra days because we had a lot of late registrants, and we wanted to make sure that everyone that was in there had a chance to watch the training and go through the content and the workshop and all of that good stuff. Good morning. Okay, so if you are here, let me know that you're here. Okay, I always love knowing that you guys are here jiving with me, learning, connecting, and all of that good stuff. So let me know if you're here. If you're new to this space, let me know what part of the world you're in. If we've never talked in the past, I'm here every Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern, and I talk all things starting, growing, and scaling a wildly profitable coaching business through strategy, confidence, and intuition. So, yeah, put it in your calendars. Mondays at 10 a.m. It is my favorite thing of the week. I love Mondays. I love starting it with you guys. All right, we're almost there. I think I have one more thing to say, which was okay, discovery calls. You guys, I have opened up spaces for one-on-one business and confidence coaching. I am so excited to be to be promoting this. So for those of you who don't know, this one-on-one coaching is the bread and butter of my business because I love the type of support that I am able to provide my clients. I love the type of transformation that I am able to give every single person that I work with because I focus so much on having that one-on-one coaching relationship, right? I don't do a ton of extra things. I have a few courses here and there. I run my group program like once or twice a year, but one-on-one coaching is truly the catalyst. Like any testimonial that you see, any success story that I share, it is typically from one-on-one coaching because it is such a big piece of what I do. I know that it's one of the best things that you could do for your business. So if you have been on the hunt for your next coach and you're ready to be supported at a higher level so that you can accelerate your business growth, book a call. I want to chat with you and see if I can support you and see which program would be good for you. Okay, with that said, let's dive right in. Where's my content? Okay. So before I begin, I want to talk a little bit about like what the difference between calls are. So I think a lot of times when coaches are getting started, they get this call thing confused, right? So like they think like a discovery call is a coaching call, or like a strategy call is a sales call. And I want to talk a little bit about the difference so you know what I'm talking about and you have an idea of what it actually is. So as a coach, there's a few types of calls that you could do. Okay, so you're going to hear in the industry a lot of terms thrown out. Some of them are a coaching call, a connection call, coffee chats, a strategy call, a discovery call, and sales calls. Okay, um, most of them have different functions. So for example, a coaching call is what I do with my one-on-one clients.
Is there something else I can help with?
Sorry, nothing at all. Thank you. The coaching call is what I do with my one-on-one clients. So like we meet together, we literally coach around the strategy, the steps, any blocks that they're experiencing. Like that's where the magic happens. Okay. You could do free coaching calls if you wanted to. That's totally fine. And you're also allowed to turn a coaching call into a sales call at the end, especially if you're doing it for free. Okay. But usually coaching call is you're diving in, you're actually coaching, you're actually giving value. Pretty self-explanatory. Connection call is you want to network in the industry, you want to meet colleagues, you want to connect with your competitors or make friends or even just connect with your potential clients or whatever. Like you and the other person hop on a call and you guys get to know each other. One thing that kind of triggers me a lot is when people say let's hop on a connection call. I don't do that often anymore because I don't have the space in my calendar for that, but they say let's hop on a connection call and it gets turned into a sales call. That is super, super, I don't know, it's weird because that was not the intention of the call. And then when the other person gets on the phone, it gets a little awkward because that's not what the other party was expecting. So if you are doing a connection call, make sure that you keep it a connection call, unless it naturally transitions into that person inquiring about your services or that person saying something specifically that she's looking for something like that, or that person saying something that makes you realize that you could help her. But like most of the time, it's just going to be you connecting with someone else. Okay. You also have coffee chats. Same thing. It's like a connection call, but it's just a cuter name. You have strategy calls. Okay. So this is where the way I like to explain it, it's like you think about one thing that you want the person to get on the call. So for example, when I launch my discovery call accelerator, I have strategy calls to help people book more discovery calls. So the intention of that call is for me to dive into your business and help you figure out what do you need to be doing in order to book more calls, right? So like I have a checklist, I go through the checklist and I figure out like which are the gaps in your business that are missing that are keeping you from booking more calls, right? So like we focus on strategy, you are left with a specific action item and a specific action list. You could sell after strategy calls, totally fine. There's like zero problem with that because you're offering value. An even energetic exchange. There's absolutely nothing wrong with what do you call it? Pitching your services at the end. Okay. There's also market research calls. That's just for you to get some research from your ideal clients, explore what their language is, figure out what their struggles are, right? So like Usually you're not going to pitch at the end. However, you can get really strategic here and build a list of warm leads from that market research. But I'm not going to get into that because then this is going to take like 5 hours. Then we have discovery calls and sales calls. Okay, we're going to talk about discovery calls today. So I think they sometimes overlap with each other, like discovery calls and sales calls. The way I personally see them and teach this is I feel like a straight up sales call is a little bit more aggressive, right? So when I hear a sales call, I imagine like a little bit of more of like an aggressive relationship, right? Where it's like, I'm here to sell, I'm here to close the sale. That's just how I teach this. Now, a discovery call, I love these. These are the only ones that I do if it's between sales calls or discovery calls. This is the only thing that I do in my business because it has such a different energy for me. For me, is like a discovery call, it's all about like, let's discover if I can support you and let's discover if I am the right fit for you and if you are connecting with my values and if I'm the right service provider for you. And then we'll talk about sales, right? So like it adds a layer of humanity to it. It's not just like, I need to close the sale, right? And it's not like as intense as a sales call, right? Even though that's not always accurate, that's just how I separate them each, right? So like to me, a discovery call, it's a little bit more flowy. It takes a little bit more time with like connection and relationship and alignment in values and things like that. And to me, a sales call is more of like, let's follow the script. Let's make sure we get this out. Okay. So we're going to talk about discovery calls today and specifically how to move through your first discovery call with a new potential client without blowing it. Thank you, Stormy, for requesting that. By the way, guys, if there is anything that you want to learn in your business, if there is anything that you're struggling with or that you want to master or that you're curious about, on Thursdays, we have a thread in here where you can post what you need support with. And we will add that to our content calendar, and then you guys will come in here and vote for it. So make sure that you're coming in here on Thursdays and letting us know. Okay, so discovery calls. The first thing I want to say here is, how are we defining the blowing it part, right? Because if we're defining blowing, by the way, can you tell me if this is resonating with you? Just say like, yes, totally get this. It's resonating with me. Drop me an emoji. Just let me know that it's being processed because I tend to speak really, really, really fast. So the first thing is, how are we defining blowing it? Okay, what does blowing it even mean? Okay, because if we're defining and we're equating blowing it with converting or not converting, then you may blow the call. Okay, this is where I'm so blunt about what it takes to build a business. I'm gentle, but I don't sugarcoat it, right? Like, I'm not going to be like a lot of people in the industry who are like, you're going to convert every single call, because that's just not the truth. It's not the reality. I've helped so many clients build multiple six-figure businesses, and none of them have had a 100% conversion rate. None of them, zero. Okay. If you know of someone who has a 100% conversion rate and they never blow it, you tell me, because they are, I said this in the workshop, I think, they are the mutants of the online industry, and in a good way, right? Like they are like the super powerful ones that have some type of power that we don't have. We good old muggles don't have. So can we change the way that we're seeing that and redefine what blowing it means? Okay, because that starts to generate a ton of pressure on you. If you're like, if this person doesn't convert, then I'm going to blow the call. Okay. Do you see the amount of pressure, like the immense pressure that you're putting in yourself, and how much anxiety and stress and overwhelm and attachment you're having before you even enter the call? Before you even enter the call, you're like, well, if this person doesn't convert, then things are not going to go good, right? Like, I blew this, I did bad, I sucked, or whatever. Now, obviously, with time, with practice, with confidence, with the right process to go through the call, your conversion rates increase, right? So, like, let's say 5 years ago, my conversion rate was 40%. So, out of 10 people that I hopped on the call with, only four of them converted. Okay. With time, that changes. With time, it starts becoming like 80%. Out of 10 people that I hop on a call with, 8 of them convert. Okay. So you can increase your conversion rate, which I'm going to talk about how you can do that. Um, but just because you don't convert does not mean that you're blowing it. Okay. So why is my camera doing this? Okay. So blowing it needs to start meaning something else. Okay. So to me, when I think about blowing a discovery call, it means I didn't show up from a place of service. Okay. Or I showed up late, or I didn't show up to the call, or I didn't do internal work before hopping on the call so I could go into it with like confidence and alignment and feeling good and believing in my services, right? Like that to me is blowing it. When you're not doing everything in your power to show up to your fullest capacity. Whether someone converts or not, we cannot control that, right? Like we can do the work to increase our conversion rate, but we can't control it. We never know who the person that's going to convert is. So if it's your first discovery call, there is a percentage that this client will not convert. Just like there is also a percentage that this client will inevitably convert, right? So think about what makes you excellent at a discovery call and then define blowing it based on that, right? So like, are you asking the right questions? Do you do the a little bit of work beforehand so that you feel super confident about your programs? Do you study your programs? You'd be surprised how many people go into a discovery call and then when it's the time to say, and the price is, they don't remember what their payment plans are or how much they should charge, right? So like that is blowing it to me a little bit. Or that you coming from a place of desperation, like define what will make you better at the discovery call and then focus on that versus if I don't convert, I will blow it. Because that's defining a negative thing to you that you have no control over. You have control on whether you show up on time for the call. You have control on whether you build your confidence around your programs. You have control on whether you grab a sticky note and you put it in your computer to remember your prices. You have control on um, using the script or the structure or the things that you process with a coach um, in your discovery call. Like these are things that you have control over. Yeah, making sense so far? Hope it is. So the reality with discovery calls is that not 100% of them will convert, and that doesn't mean you blew it. It just means that it's a numbers game, okay? And that the person maybe wasn't ready at that point, or maybe she wasn't an ideal client, or maybe she wasn't sold on it, or maybe she had a lot of fear, or I don't know. I have no idea. There's so many reasons why people back out from buying, which we're going to talk about how to decrease the chances of doing that. Okay, so with all of this said, okay, shifting the internal way that you view blowing a discovery call, shifting um, what defines you doing well in a discovery call, okay? Shifting the pressure that we're generating on that first discovery call, okay? Now that we've done all of that, how can we show up for the discovery call in a more empowered way and go through this process in a way that increases our chances of converting? I have a lot of tips. I cannot, I literally can talk about this all day long. There are so many elements that go into this, but I also don't want to overwhelm you, especially if we're talking about your first discovery call, because then you're going to have like 100 things to do, and then that's just going to generate more pressure. Okay. So I'm going to give you some of the biggest highlights. I think some of the things that make the biggest difference, especially if it's your first time. Um, And if you want to learn more about this, or if you want me to dive deeper and give you more tips or more strategies or more tactics here, let me know in the comments. Let me know, like, this is a topic that I like, or I would like to learn more, because that means that you guys need more of this, and I will come on here and teach more and give you more. Okay, so first thing, I think there is a misconception in the industry that you need to be like a robot in your discovery calls. Like, mm, 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 mm. You need to follow a script, you need to do this, you need to do that, and if you don't do it perfectly, then the discovery call is not going to convert. And I completely disagree with that. I mean, really, like, I do very well at this point in my business. Like, most people who hop on the phone with me, they're a yes. Most people. Um, and I really think it's because I've faded away from that mentality of this, I need to do it perfect. And I leaned into the mentality of like, I need to connect with this individual from a human level. Okay. This really aligns with my personality. This aligns with the way that I do sales. This just aligns with my values and the way that I am. And when I faded away from the idea of like, I need to follow a script and I need to do steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Otherwise, this is why I'm not converted. And I was like, the more that I can serve and connect with this person and build a relationship and make them feel safe, okay, the more that I'm going to convert. And when I got that, when it really clicked, where it's like people buy from people they know, like, and trust, people buy when they feel comfortable and safe enough to do so, right? When I really grasped that concept, not only did it release so much pressure on my end, because now I don't have to do it perfect. Now I know that every call can be different. Now I know that every person can be different. Now I know that I could be thinking of asking a question and then not ask it, and that's okay, as long as I'm focusing on connecting with the person. You have to understand, when someone hops in a discovery call, more times than not, they're equally as nervous as you, if not more. Honestly, hop in a discovery call yourself. It is scary. It's a scary process for the buyer as well. Even I have hired so many coaches. I've worked with my current coach for almost a year now. I've worked with many coaches in the past. Every time I hop on a discovery call, it's a little nerve-wracking, right? Like, people are like not knowing what to expect. They're a little bit nervous. They're obviously trying to make a decision that's going to expand their life, their health, their business, and anything else. They're nervous too. So you have to make them feel safe. You have to connect with them. You have to focus on them, not you, them. How can I serve you? How can I let you know that I'm the right person for you? How can I make you understand that I get you and I have the solution for you? How can I, um, help you release any limitations that you may have? And how can I make you feel good? I think if you take anything from today, anything, it would be this. You will convert more discovery calls and you will get more clients when you show up from that space. Promise you, hands down, I have tried this and tested it for years and years and years. It works 100 times better than me handing you over a script. Because then you have a script in front of you, and then you're nervous, and then you think you're not performing well, and then you forgot to say something, and then you feel bad about it, and then you're just so focused on you that you forget to focus on your potential client. Does this resonate? Do you agree with this? Is this feeling good so far? Okay. Now, the next thing that is extremely important, and I'm going to go into the tactical stuff. I have a few tactical things to tell you. But the next thing that is extremely important is you need to show up to that discovery call with so much confidence. You have, if you're just starting out and this is the first time you hop on a call and no one has bought, you have to do so much work to believe in your programs and your services before anyone else does. Okay, before anyone else says yes, before anyone else swipes your credit card, you have to believe so deeply in the work that you do. Okay, which means your worth, your capacity to serve, your quality as a coach does not depend on a transaction, on outside validation, on monetary validation. Okay. So just because no one has bought, it doesn't mean anything about the greatness of the work that you do. It doesn't mean anything about how expansive your programs are. It doesn't mean anything about your capacity to help other people create transformation, right? Like you have to really focus on being confident on what you're selling, right? There is such a difference between saying like, okay, well, like, and now we can, we can work together. Like I have a program where we work together for like 3 months and I can help you change your life, right? Like that is so different to like, hey, I totally understood everything that you're telling me. I completely get where you're coming from. And I can see that something that you want is to finally get your business off the ground. I know you've been trying to do this for years, and I know that it's been a struggle. I know it's been really overwhelming because there's so many things that you think you should do, or so many things that people tell you that you have to be doing, and then you just never know how to move forward strategically. And not only that, not only is it confusing and there's a million ways to grow the business, but then there's so many questions and doubts and insecurity that come up. Like I get this. I've been doing this work for a while and I really, really get where you're from. I know deep down in my bones, and I know for a fact that you and I will do amazing work together. Obviously, you have to believe that too. If you don't think that you can help the client, then don't say that. I have definitely turned down people and said, like, I don't think I'm the coach for you. I don't think I can help you. And I direct them somewhere else. There's nothing wrong with saying that. But do you see how coming from a place of confidence of like, I have this incredible program and this is how it's going to help you. This is how it's going to change your life. This is the work that we're going to do. This is how you're going to grow. It's so much different than like, yeah, okay, well now you want to hear about my 3 month program, I can help you, right? You have to generate that confidence before anyone else does, because people buy from people who believe in their capacity to help. You don't want to go to a doctor. I've said this a million times here. If you've watched this show before, you don't want to go to a doctor who says like, well, maybe we could do this treatment, but I'm not sure. I've never done it before. So, yeah, we can try it if you want to, right? You don't want that. To me, it's just like lie to me. Like at least pretend that you know what you're doing. If I'm going to a doctor like that, do not say that because I'm gonna run out of the office. A little bit of the same idea here, okay? Your clients need to trust you, and you need to trust yourself and be confident in yourself and what you're selling so that the discovery call goes well. This is why, as a coach, I don't just teach strategy. I don't just say, like, hey, here's what we have to do, here are the steps, and we create a roadmap. But we also work on building that inner foundation and building that inner confidence, because anything that we do, whether it's a discovery call or a live stream or a sales sequence for your emails or a paid ad, like anything that we do, there has to be an element of confidence behind it for it to work. Okay. All right. Okay, now let's go into the tactical stuff, guys. So I like to split my discovery calls into phases. Okay. So I have phase one, phase two, phase three. I don't have a script because I don't think it's helpful, but looking at it into phases helps me go through the discovery call and cover what I need to cover in a way that feels really good. So I do phase one is the intro, phase two is the connection, get to know each other, coaching, or whatever you want to do there. And then phase three is let's talk about working together. Okay. So phase one, this is the first time that you're talking to your potential client. You want to focus on getting to know them, right? Like making them feel safe, making them feel connected to you, right? So this shouldn't take that long, but it's all about like, I'm really happy to be here. I can't wait to get to know you and your business, or you and your health struggles, or whatever type of coaching you do. This is where you have an opportunity to showcase your leadership in the call. This is where you have an opportunity to step up and be like, I know what I'm doing. I'm confident in what I'm doing. I'm here, right? Like I'm here to hold you and help you navigate this with me. So that's when you say like, Tell me a little bit about you. Okay, this is how the call is going to go. I'm going to ask you a ton of questions. I want to get to know you, because the more that I know about you, the more that we can determine if I can actually support you. If at any point you have any questions for me, feel free to ask them. You're going to have a time and space to do that. At the end, we are going to talk a little bit about if we're a good fit, talk a little bit about like what working together looks like and what my programs are and how they can support you. Does that feel good? Yes. Okay. Now, this is why phase one is so important, because you're connecting with the person. You're asking them a few questions. What part of the world are you in? What made you reach out for support, right? Like this is like your opportunity to connect with them, and it's your opportunity to showcase yourself as a leader. Now, the most important piece of phase one is saying, and at the end, we'll talk a little bit about what working together will look like. Does that feel good? The most important piece, the most tactical thing that you can do in phase one of your discovery call is ask that question. Why? Because they're giving you permission to transition into the sales piece. If you don't do this, if you don't talk about like, here's how we're going to work today, is that okay? Then you're going to go through the call, and in the back of your mind, especially if it's your first potential client that you're talking to, in the back of your mind, you're going to be like, oh my God, now I have to talk about my programs. When should I talk about my programs? Should I talk about my programs? Is she going to be okay about like talking about my programs? Is she going to think I'm pushy? Is she going to think, right? We don't want that. Remember, we want to be confident to make the other person feel safe. So we just asked for their permission, right? Like, hey, here's how we're gonna roll. Here's what we're here for. At the end, we'll talk about that. Good, good. I have never had anyone say no. Nobody. Um, I don't think anyone will say no, because why would you sign up to a discovery call if you're not willing to talk about that, right? Um, so that's phase one. Then we go into phase two. I think some of the most important pieces or things that you can do here is ask a ton of questions. So a discovery call is not just a client vetting you. It's not just a client seeing like, is this the right coach for me? Is this the right investment for me? Is this the right thing for my life? But it's also you vetting them. Okay. This is a really hard concept to grasp if you're at the beginning stages of your business. It typically feels like, are they going to pick me? Are they going to work with me? Right? Like, but it's not just about them, it's also about you. Is this the right client? Can you actually support them, right? Like, do they have the right struggles? Do you have the right solution? Do you guys align in values, right? Like, that's very, very important. In order for coaching to be extremely effective, there has to be a connection. And if you want coaching to be extraordinary, when values align between client and coach, that is a beautiful thing. And my clients are so diverse, you have no idea, in belief systems, in everything, in culture, in places of the world that they're in. But what bonds us together a lot of the times is that some of our core values will link up, and that helps us build such a long lasting, beautiful long term relationship, right? And it also helps us progress in coaching, because if you're working, like I work with coaches before who, like, after the relationship, I'm like, not that they were bad, it's just that I just don't align with their values, right? Like, if someone's value is to just like sell no matter what, right? Like, take the human elements out of growing a business, like it's not going to work, because you're teaching me things that are not in alignment with my values. Yeah. Okay. So you're going to ask the right questions, but here's the trick. You're going to write down, you're going to have a little piece of paper next to you, and you're going to write down their struggles, like what they're struggling with, why they reach out for support, and their desires. So, like, what do they want to achieve? How is their life going to change once they achieve that, right? And this is all going to come through the questions that you're asking. Is this resonating? Give me a yes. Give me a no. I feel like I'm going so fast, but I want to get through all of this. So you're going to be writing like, what are your desires? What are your struggles? And you're going to have a list of things. You're going to be listening to them so that you can also vet them. Once you ask all of the questions, you understand your clients, you're going to say like, okay, I've asked you a ton of questions. I really understand where you're at. It really does feel like I can help you with X, Y, and Z through one of my programs. I'd love to transition the conversation to that. Does it feel like a good time to do that? Yes. Okay. Okay, beautiful. Before we go there, do you have any questions for me? Do that. And then we transition into phase three, which is all about talking about your programs. But specifically, okay, this is the most important thing about phase three. Specifically, like customizing how your programs will help them. Okay, customizing how the work that you do will change their life. So, for example, if you've been listening, you don't have to say generic things like, okay, well, in my I'm going to use my own examples. Through my 6-month one-on-one coaching program called Magnetizing Success, we are going to grow your business and we are going to get you fully booked out with clients and we are going to get you making more money than you desire. That's so general, right? Like that's not for them at all. So, what you want to do instead is when you are talking about your relationship together, customize it to them, right? Explain to them how this is literally the best program for them. So, you've said that you've been struggling with getting visible for a really long time because you were bullied as a kid from your sibling, and that made you shell in. And when you came into this online world, um, that amplified a lot because now you have to be in the public eye and now you have to get really visible and market yourself. And it's been really scary for you to take action, right? Like, not only if we were to work together through my one-on-one coaching program called Magnetizing Success, not only would I strategically be helping you release that overwhelm of like, what should I do? What strategy should I follow? Because we're going to create a custom tailored plan for you, but I'm going to be here for you every single step of the way. We communicate every single day to make sure that in between sessions, when it is time for you to get visible, we're not repeating the same patterns that you've been doing over the past 2 years of shelling in because of past trauma that you've had. You have a co-pilot helping you every single day and making sure that you're not allowing yourself to play small and that we're processing all the insecurity that comes up along the way. Do you see the difference? Can I get a yes or a no? Yes, I see the difference. No, I don't see the difference. One is so generic. Like, yes, of course, you're hiring a business and confidence coach. If the goal is not to grow your business, make more money, and get more clients, I don't know why, like obviously most people hiring a business and confidence coach want to get more clients, want to make more money, want to scale, they want to hire a team, they want to grow a big, sustainable, profitable business, right? Duh, like that's why they're hopping on the call. So forget about that. They already know that. I mean, if you've done your job well, they already know that. Talk about them and what they've been struggling with and how you're going to support them. And navigating the discovery call from that space, from the space of like, I'm here, I hear you, I see you, I know that I can help you. And letting them understand that will increase your chances of converting a lot. Okay, a lot. Now, can we convert everyone 100%? No, not possible. Period. End of story. Um, but it will increase your chances. Okay, so we went through phase one, phase two, phase three. The other tip I have for you is always ask permission, right? Like it just makes it so much easier on you, where it's like, hey, do you mind if we talk about working together? Hey, at the end of the call, we're going to talk about our programs. Yes, big difference. Love it. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. I'm glad you guys are getting this. I think you guys are a little quiet today, so I'm getting nervous. I'm like, am I talking too fast? Is this resonating with you? So thank you. Thank you. So ask for permission. This is going to help you so much because, right? Like you release so much pressure when you're like, hey, at the end of the call, we're going to talk about this. Is that okay? Yes? Cool. Hey, it feels like a good time for us to talk about working together. Does it feel like a good time for you? Yes? Yes? Okay, cool. Right? It's not like, ooh, how do I pitch my programs now? How do I talk about what I have to offer? It's just like you just talk about it like an adult. like a grown adult. It's like when you're having a tough conversation with a friend, which I'm not telling you to become a friend for your clients. Like I don't I think a coach needs to like actually I have had coaches who are my friends and we have to separate the relationship, right? Like coaching is coaching, our friendship is friendship, right? Like we will have different threads for conversations, like text will be for friendship stuff and Slack will be for coaching because if I wanted to hire a friend, I would just hire a friend, right? Like obviously my friends cannot help me grow to the level that a coach can. So I'm not saying be a friend with them, but it's kind of like when you have a friend and like you have to say something really hard and you're like I have to say this, but it's like a really hard thing and like you feel a little nervous, right? Like the way that you say that, it's going to change so much, right? Like you could either be like, "Hey, by the way, I think X, Y, and Z." Right? Like I think X, Y, and Z, and if you don't like it, take it. And it's just so weird. Like I think most of the time, if you approach it like that, you won't even say it at all. But if you were like, hey, look, you know I care about you a lot, and I've been thinking about something that I think it's really important for you to hear. Are you open for some feedback right now? Like, are you available for that? If not, totally fine. We can talk about it another day. Um, or never if you never feel ready for it. But I have some feedback on your relationship and a few things that I think you could do better. You're asking for permission, just like a regular grown adult. Okay. The next thing is sell with confidence, be sold in your programs before anyone else. Okay. Last but not least, detachment. This is still to this day, after 6 years of doing this work, after endless clients booked, an immense amount of sales made, so many of my clients growing to the next level. I don't even know how many discovery calls I've had at this point. This is still something that I have to work through. Still to this day. I struggle with this a lot. And I'm sure most people do. I know most people do. But when you come or when you host a discovery call, and you're detached from the outcome, okay, you expand your way of showing up, right? Your energy, your confidence, your stress, your anxiety, your fear, your leadership, they all change, okay? Because you're not there for a result, you're there to show up and serve, okay? This is really hard to do. I always tell my clients, like, this is the hardest thing I probably will ever ask you to do, okay? Which is to show up to your sales calls or your sales conversations or your discovery calls or whatever my clients are doing. To show up so confident that you're like, duh, why wouldn't they convert? Like, I am the best business and confidence coach in the market. Like, if they don't buy from me, they're missing out, right? Like they could go to Joe Schmuck and hire a bad coach that will not help them at the level that I will help them. So show up at that level of confidence while simultaneously being completely detached from the outcome. Like, yeah, of course they're going to buy from me. I am amazing. My programs are amazing. They're the best one-on-one coaching programs in the market. But also, if they don't, that's okay. The hardest thing I ever ask my clients to do. And it's work. I've been working with so many of my clients for years and years and years, and we still have to go back to this all the time. But this is one of those magical pieces that helps you so much. Because if you're, think about it, if you go into the call and be like, I have to convert, 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 right? Like there's so much anxious energy there. But if you go into the call where it's like, I know that I'm the best. I know my programs are the best. I'm here to show you that. You know, you get to decide whether you want to join them or not. I'm here to help you navigate that decision. But whether you buy or not, it means nothing about my success, right? Now you're not putting all the growth and development of your business in one call. You're like, this is just a thing in my business. Whether it works or not, it doesn't matter because there will be another million things in my business that will come my way. So it also adds a layer of being a confident CEO, coach, and entrepreneur where you're like, cool, I know my stuff is amazing. And I know I sound really cocky right now, but it's really important to have that level of confidence with the work that you do. And I'm not saying it doesn't fluctuate. Like, trust me, I have days where I'm like, oh my God, I am so frustrated. Like, I'm not saying like every single day you're going to be like a narcissist who like thinks they're the best. That's just not how it works. But I'm saying the more that you show up from that level of confidence, and the more that you're like, not only am I confident in my programs, but I'm confident that my business is going to grow no matter what, whether this call converts or not. You're like not letting little things get in the way. So like if it converts, amazing, great. If it doesn't convert, amazing, great too. I'm going to keep doing the work to book more calls and find the right clients, right? Okay, so the hardest thing I probably will ever ask you to do is to show up to your calls like that. Okay, and then strategically speaking, follow the phases that I just taught you, phase one, phase two, phase three, add the little tactical pieces that I gave you for each phase, and your discover calls will become easier and easier and easier. Your conversion rates will get better and better and better, and your business will just continue to grow. I hope this resonated with all of you. If you have any questions for those amazing humans that are here every single Monday live, let me know in the comment section. And for those amazing humans that are here every week afterwards watching the replay, drop any questions in the comments as well. If you have been wanting that next level support to accelerate the growth of your business, book a discovery call. I have spots available for one-on-one. I have two programs. I have a 6-week program and a 6-month program. I want to talk to you. I want to see what you're struggling with. I want to know if I can support you, and then we can talk about which program could be good for you. Obviously, I'm zero pressure with sales, so go ahead and book that call so we can get to know each other. One thing I always like to say is this: investing in coaching can feel like the scariest thing, right? Because it is definitely a next level investment. Like, I never take that away, but it probably is one of the best things that you could ever do for your business, right? And I say probably because there's different phases coming, right? Like, then when you get to hire a team and when you get to hire other people to do the things that you've been doing, I think that's also a really exciting phase where you're like, it's scale time, let's go. But one-on-one coaching is truly good. One-on-one coaching, because there's different layers, is truly one of the biggest, fastest, most incredible propellers to success online. Yeah. So can't wait to chat to some of you. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. This week, we're going to have some of my clients coming in here to tell you what their experience is like working with me. If you've been wanting that next level support, you'll get to see a little bit of like the behind the scenes, things that they've been able to achieve, how long they struggle for, and all of that amazing things. So keep an eye out for those interviews and have an amazing day. Bye, everyone.